How many years you been doing this?
This is the 28th year, the celebration of Superbowl at Falks old joint, 5608 Shorewood. So anyway, as you know, Falk passed away July the 10th, and so this is a celebration of his life out here. And we've got about 11 briskets and all kinds of other meat assorted meats that we're doing today.
Now, what are you usually responsible for out here?
Carving, but this is my pit. This monstrosity is my pit, and that's my big donation to this whole affair.
Is it usually up on a trailer? It's usually higher, isn't it?
No, you're thinking about the one that's over here on Burnett Road that rents for $100. But I bought this 4 years ago, so it's got 3 bays in here. We can cook about 600 pounds of meat at a time on this thing. That's a lot of meat.
Excellent.
We're only probably cooking about 250, 300 pounds today. Small party.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for stopping by.
So what all's on the pit right now, man?
Innovation.
Well, we got our standard pork tenderloin, our beef roast, and of course Texas famous brisket.
It's windy, didn't you hear? It's windy.
What's coming off next?
I think probably some more briskets. Hopefully this pork tenderloin in about an hour.
Who brought the pork?
Yours truly.
Excellent. How's the food, Chris?
Wonderful. Having to get a little brisket to cool down from the last jalapeno I had. I got one of the hot ones. It hurt.
Basically, we're shucking the oysters coming off the coast, Fulton, Texas. We're using spinach souffle to kind of melt on top. We got some salmon dip that we're using also, as well as horseradish. Put it all over some pickle salt and some rock salt, throwing it on the grill. Leave it on there 5-10 minutes. It gets a little brown, coming off, and it tastes amazing.
So where'd you learn all this stuff from, Ben?
Growing up here. Every year at the oyster bar.
What we're doing here, we're just cutting the fat cap off of that thing. Okay? You know that a brisket has about 40 to 60% waste, shrinkage. But look at the penetration that Nathan got on that thing. Look at the penetration of the smoke. Isn't that fabulous?
It's called the smoke ring.
Smoke ring.
Red ring around the outside.
And I'll tell you what, that's a sign of 2 things. 1, a good cook, which he is, and 2, a good pit for smoking.
Now, what about the different grains in it? You're cutting across the grain?
Across the grain. And that's the reason I take the fat cap off there, so I can see where the grain is. And that's what a professional barbecuer does. You'll see them, because the brisket comes from the belly of the steer or the cow, and it's up on the chuck end, the front end of that thing. And those muscles are just going every which way. So when you never which part of the muscle, whether it's way down here or way up here on the steer. And so you have to read this thing. See how the grain's going this way? So after we cut through here, then we're going to need to turn it and slice it this way. It's a lot more scientific than most people think.
That's a brand new knife too, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's Nathan's knife that we gave him yesterday. Turn it around. So watch him. Boy, this guy knows how to slice brisket.
It's pretty easy once you get used to it. There's not much to it. Oh yeah, it helps to have a good knife too.
3 things: a good cook, a good pit, and a good knife carving it.
You ever cut yourself doing that?
First time ever, right there today.
Oh no!
First time ever. Come on. And if you have to, improvise.
I'm making the oyster and shrimp Diablo, and there's some sausage on there. And I'm just glad to be here for Falk. I do love the guy, you know. And I'm very proud to have known him. And he was just a great friend.
How'd you meet Falk?
I met him down at the Texas Showdown. I don't know, man, probably 12 years ago, at least. And he's just he's one of my great, yeah. I talked to him about running this pit right here at the Poodle Dog Lounge. I said, hey, man, I'll run the pit for you, man. I wound up running the pit for 6 years straight, and I was proud to do it. And I love his family. It's damn good to see his kids. His 2 boys are here.
Do they know what they're doing?
Hell yeah, they do. And I'm just proud to be here.
Thanks, White. Let's see what you got. Are they coming off?
Well, the oysters are back here, and the shrimp is. Man, I need to put some more wood in that fire, don't I? You want to see how that happens? Just do this. I don't wet mine down, you know. I just throw it in there and let it do its thing. That's mesquite wood there, which makes the best flavor, I think, when it comes to barbecue.
I was here last year and saw Falk at the last Superbowl party, the Superbowl party, and I saw Falk, and he was seemingly in excellent spirits, and he was just happy to have another party. But he was friends. He was like best friends with my mentor from Western Civilization class, Gail Barkas. And Gail Barkas was like here before he passed away, and they used to like hang out in Mexico, on a house that they bought or something. So they're both partying up in heaven.
I knew Mr. Falk for, let me think, 33 years. And we teased everybody everywhere we went. We would say, the Art Marines are here, because I worked with him that long. We had many wild adventures, many wild stories. Came to blows a couple of times, which I got the worst of, because he's a lot bigger than me. But I love the guy, and I miss it. Okay. I've had brisket, and of course the shrimp Diablos, and the oysters. And I brought some of the vino, and I'm drinking homebrew beer. You know, and I'm just taking it. We're lucky again. We got good weather, and good friends, old friends, reminiscing, telling tall tales.
I went to a party. I brought 2 Falk paintings that I
Yeah, go Bears.
Anyway, I brought 2 Falks that one of them was painted just for me, and the other one was painted for Harry Knowles, and he didn't buy it, and so I bought it. So, yeah, and I've known Falk since the olden days when we sat down at Show Start and traded stories. So, I feel like I've been coming here for 30 years, maybe. I don't know how long it's been.
Do you know the Knowles, then Harry's father?
Yeah, I hope he shows up. That would be nice. I saw Roland Denoy Jr. here, and he's a friend he works with Harry. So,
how's the food? What do you usually have?
This stuff is wonderful. I made some hummus, and the Diablos, I think if I eat one, that'll be my food for the week. They're kind of rich. Yeah.
Could you say your name real quick for us?
Francis Morey.
That's Francis?
Yes.
Yes.
And these paintings that I brought are very unusual, but they're unmistakably Falks, but they're not his usual subject matter. And he did one for me about the feminist, about on the way to her boudoir. He saw her bookshelf with the feminist titles, and the titles are hilarious.
Alicia Keys sang in here, and there is a buzz going on as the anticipation builds right here about an hour from kickoff.
Now you talk about Alicia Keys, those things, they're playing for forever. That Russell Crowe piece gave me chills.
For perfection, Russell Crowe, I mean, that gave me chills. Oh, I love that.
Well, I can promise you one thing. New England right now in that locker room are on the field. Man, that's some serious stress and pressure right there.
The moment before the moment of impact.
You've got a chance in the history either way. Either New England wins this game and becomes the first 19-0 team, or the Giants win it and they pull one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl. They've won an NFL record 10 straight on the road. And guess what? By a stroke of luck, New York is the road team tonight. Our own road warriors, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, are standing by with you on this game. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, fellas.
They put those pictures up there and they said that's Falks.
Especially early in this game and see how he's doing. You know, I don't know if it necessarily impacts what they want to do offensively, but they got to keep a close eye on that. It's just another game.
He was a fine man. That's all I know. My wife knows him better than I did. Love the guy. Miss him. And you know what? He'd be very, very proud of the brisket that his son made today.
What do you think about them? Are they taking over pretty well, Ben and Nate?
Yeah. They did a wonderful job.
Pete Holder told me he was the Diablo King.
Pete
Holder.
I don't know Pete. George's the Diablo King. Far as I'm concerned.
One time we made Diablos for dinner, the two of us. We made about 25 of them. It was a really bad idea. It was a horrible idea.
We cut them in half, and we use a whole slice of bacon for the whole jalapeno. And we cut them in half.
Okay. So you cut them after you wrap them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're so big.
Right.
We use the colossal shrimp.
I kind of think about some of the stuff like people were talking about before, you know.